Wish to ask the Minister for Enterprise what plans government has to make basic broadband accessible for those on low incomes.
The Minister for Enterprise, Mrs Skelly, to reply.
As honourable members will be aware, the National Telecom Strategy was unanimously approved by Tynwald in October 2018. A major part of that strategy was the National Broadband Plan, which will see 99% of the island's premises passed by fibre. Indeed, I gave members an update on the plan in last month's Tynwald. The National Broadband Plan is providing funds which are focused on the delivery of new infrastructure across our island, which will increasingly provide our residents and business with choice and improve broadband access. The move from legacy copper services into fibre will allow those who choose it the ability to remove old landlines and so reduce costs and increase speeds and reliability. The Cabinet Office has a number of strategies in place to look at digital inclusion. The Digital Inclusion Strategy, endorsed by Tynwald in 2016, identified that barriers exist in stopping people from getting online. These included age, vulnerability, disability, poor quality rental properties, as well as cost. The Chief Minister's Committee report into telecoms infrastructure received by Tynwald May 2018 also identified that cost might be a barrier to the connection for some in our community. According to the Communication Commission figures, over 35,000 premises have a fixed broadband solution in place and a further 2,235 mobile broadband connections exist. Whilst the connection exists in Manx Telecom's licence to ensure that there is a lower user tariff for fixed line telephony, no such condition is currently in place for broadband services. The priority up to now has been to determine a suitable partner to get the contract in place. Now it is to accelerate the rollout across the whole island more quickly. I will ask the new Minister in the Cabinet Office to consider accessibility as part of the digital inclusion. Good night.
Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I'm glad the Minister mentioned the National Broadband Plan and the debate that was approved unanimously, because this is an issue that I raised in that debate, and I just wanted to find out what progress is being made. In the race towards fibre and faster speeds and better connectivity and greater reach, we're in danger of leaving people behind who are on low incomes. And as the Minister pointed out, there are those who are on the low user tariff for fixed lines. Are there any plans to have an equivalent for broadband so that at least those who are on low usage, who are otherwise digitally disconnected, able to access that? Because the cheapest broadband package on this island is far more expensive than the cheapest broadband package across the water. It's all very well putting in the speed and the connectivity for everyone, but really we just need a solution for those who would otherwise be left behind based on the packages that are available at the moment.
Minister to reply.
Good morning, and I thank Lauder for raising this particular issue. And as I stated, our focus and priorities were to get the plan and the contract confirmed and to roll it out and to accelerate that. In the answer there, committed to working with the new Cabinet Minister to actually take a look at addressing this, particularly with the evidence as highlighted in the digital inclusion strategy. So yes, we will pick this up as an action point.
Honourable Member for Douglas Central, Mrs Cornwall.
Thank you, Mr President. Would the Minister agree that with the closure of schools and the switch to remote learning, this has highlighted the disparity in the ability to access education that children from low-income families have experienced due to their inability to afford access to the internet?
Minister.
Yes, good morning. Thank the Honourable Member for a question. Actually, first of all, I would say these last few months I've been actually quite pleased that the critical infrastructure of connection has stood up, and of course there's been a lot of resources gone into that to ensure that this has happened. But again, it just those who cannot access it or those who find it difficult has been a problem in a number of areas, and I've definitely had quite a few of those comments. But in the main, I think the island has functioned very well. Certainly from an economic and a business point of view, that has definitely been the case. Schooling, I know, has had other challenges as well, as been recognised by the Minister of Education. Good morning.
Honourable Member for Douglas Central, Mr Thomas.
Thank you, Mr President. In the light of the Minister's comments just now, can the Minister advise whether the Department for Enterprise, which took forward the telecommunication strategy, actually engaged with Cabinet Office's digital inclusion project as the telecommunications rollout was imagined and then implemented? And secondly, depending on that answer, does the Minister find it difficult now to reconcile the fact that Cabinet Office is actually the British Irish Council champion for digital inclusion, that hasn't actually been taken into account when we've been putting together our telecommunication strategy?
Reply, sir.
Yes, good morning, Director. No, I thank the Honourable Member for his question and the recognition. Yes, there has been exceptionally good work done that has been highlighted by the British Irish Council, led by the Cabinet Office, so that definitely should be recognised. But in terms of working together as a government, yes, that has been very collaborative. And if you go back to the actual National Telecom Strategy, there were 6 different themes in there that we were trying to achieve, and we did give an update of that some months ago now in terms of where we are in terms of delivery of that, and we are well on track of delivering that plan, which was hatched originally by Chief Minister's committee that started this whole programme. But so I think we have achieved a lot, but there is still more to be done. Good morning.
Honourable Member Mr Morehouse.
Thank you, Mr President. I'd like to raise 2 points. The first one is that some children have been disadvantaged recently because of poor internet access. They've got access, but it's quite poor. And the other more concerning issue is that once these concerns are raised, there's a simple alternative given. You pay £115 and an engineer will come and look at the problem. If there's a problem, you don't pay. If there isn't a problem, you pay. And that causes real issues for some families. Thank you.
Minister.
Good morning. Yes, thank the Honourable Member for his question. In terms of internet access, I guess, first of all, with regards to fibre, it's worth recognising that well over 25% homes actually do have access, and they may want to check to see if they can actually get that signed up sooner rather than later. Whilst the programme that we've signed up with Manx Telecom just recently announced the £10 million investment will take 5 years, over 25% already have access, and they might want to check to see if that has come past their house, that they can get that. But yes, there have been a number of problems in this area. Individual issues, I would suggest you might make contact with the provider, or if there is any difficulty, we will help facilitate that.
Final question, Mr Speaker.
Thank you, Mr President. I'm grateful to my colleagues for picking up the issue of those school children who have been disadvantaged during the recent coronavirus pandemic and the lockdown. Really, my only question then for the Minister is, given the commitment to engage with his ministerial colleague on this, would he agree to report back to this court in either July or October on progress?
Reply, sir.
Good morning. Yes, thank Lauder for that question, and certainly will commit to come back to this court with an update.